What's going on, everyone? It's Tetrosphere. We do have another match from the 3v3 case tournament at GalaxyBusterTCG. Question of the day. What's your favorite breakfast? What are you eating when you wake up on Saturday? You don't got to go to work. You have the whole day ahead of you, and you can just have whatever you want. It's actually a tough one for me because I'm a man that loves breakfast. My favorite meal of the day. I love breakfast foods. I think, though, that day in and day out, you can't beat a good omelet. You know, I like a country omelet with the hash browns inside and the sausage gravy all over it. To me, that's a pretty tough one to beat. But let's go ahead and jump onto the match. We do have a different angle here because we wanted to try to capture the B player, and this was like kind of an impromptu deal. So the angle's a little funky, but I think we'll make do here. We do have on the left Devin D. Davis, and on the right, I believe, is Khalil. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the match. Alrighty, now if I'm not mistaken, Devin is on like an Artmage Dracotail brew, so I might find myself needing to look up some cards here. I'm not terribly familiar with what the Artmage game plan is. I mean, I'm not totally illiterate, but sorry about that, dogs wanted out. I'm not totally illiterate, but I definitely don't know the finer details. I'm guessing we're waiting for the clock here. Let's see if we can skip ahead a few moments and get to some gameplay. I don't want to keep you guys waiting for... Okay, there's the handshake. That's got to be a good sign. Alright, so someone's about to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I can feel it. Here we go. Khalil, opening play, Fiendsmith tracked. Okay, so I think he's on Artmage Fiendsmith, if I recall correctly. Lurie hits the board. Now, the only card in hand I see from Devin that could potentially be an interaction is the Phimena, but I think the other two monsters there are Artmage, so I don't think we're actually in a great position to make anything happen. Regardless... On Khalil's side, we go ahead and summon the Lacrima off of Requiem, Foolish, the Fiendish in Paradise. Contact fuse the Requiem and the Lacrima into Necroquip. And now we're going to go Engraver, sending to Grave to add. This is a nice extension because it gives us another light Fiend Engrave to shuffle back. You know, we can just do the Lurie now instead of having to do some funky stuff, getting the Engraver in the grave other ways. Just adding another track to the hand there. And then, of course, Necroquip is going to get to draw a card because a monster was sent from hand to grave to activate its effect. Engraver is going to shuffle back that Lurie, as previously discussed, to hit the board. Overlay for 6, probably going to be a Caesar here, or it could be Pilgrim Reaper, who knows, but it looks like it's Caesar. And that is a spell I'm not terribly familiar with. It must be the Artmage spell. Looks like it grabbed Medius the Peer. And it looks like we have the field spell. This gives us the access to basically the entire Artmage engine, if I'm not mistaken. So Medius hits the board and grabs the Power Patron. But I think Devin was not liking what he was looking at. Looked at his top deck, said, nah. Let's go next game. Now, this team has played already, so I know I made a comment in another video about like not revealing your hand to your opponent pre-side, because why would you do that? Why not keep the mystery? But there is no mystery here. Both players know what the other player is on, so that was more just for like a friendly chuckle, like, oh my god, can you believe how I drew here? Alright, so out comes the Fuas, the Tikbu, couple random engine pieces, bringing in D-Barrier and Droll. Probably pretty solid picks here. I don't disagree with this side pattern at all. Now, unfortunately, my angle is horrible for what Khalil is doing, so I have absolutely no idea. But I would have to imagine that if you're playing something like Retaliating Sea that's coming in, as previously mentioned in another video, I really love the Psy frames against Dracotail, so if he's also on that technology, that could be happening here as well. I think the Psyframes right now are so good. I'm really into those cards right now. I mean, they're always like good cards, but I think like right now in particular, they really shine. While we're waiting, I do want to point out that my Genesis deck is nearing completion. I am very excited to give Paleo a shot. I also really want to make Lab work, even though it uses up all 99 points just to get one big welcome, one lady, one welcome. But I think there's like a Lab Paleo brew that could be decent. The problem is you're giving up, you know, Trap Holic, you're giving up Karma Cannon, you're giving up Rollback. But there is a nice little like loop you can do with just the Paleo traps in the Lab engine, so I think it's worth exploring. I kind of want to get good with just like the Paleo deck first, and then I'm gonna try Lab Paleo out and see how I like it. All right, shuffling up here, really randomizing that deck is Khalil. Cut has been offered. Cut has been executed. Let's see how game 2 plays out. We got Ketu, we got Droll, we got, I think that's Litera, and Medius, Malulu. All right, so first action is going to be Ketu. This is in response, or not in response, but after Perulia has been dropped. Ash negates the Ketu, so we're going to go ahead and normal summon that Medius. Now, I'm pretty sure Medius tutors the Power Patron, but that's going to be met with the Imperm. So we have absolutely nothing. We're going to pass it back over to Khalil, who is going to normal summon his own Medius. We don't have a hand trap for that. Our only hand trap is Droll. And the Artmage Power Patron hits the board as my camera goes slightly out of focus and then back into focus. I think Devin is about to experience what we in the industry like to call an absolute mollywhopping. So Power Patron, Artmage guy, performs the fusion summon by its own effect. And this is it Diactorus? Their names are kind of funny. I think they're like, well, not funny, haha, like, you know what I mean. I don't want to hear about it in the comment section. Alright, so we are adding one of the Artmage spells from deck to hand, but Droll is going to go ahead and prevent any further additions. Let's see if I can pull up exactly what spell that is. Artmage. Oh, and there's a face down hit in the board. Seems like we're just going to run over the Medius and pass it back. On the clapback, we do have the normal summon of Mululu. We're going to attempt Mululu's effect to perform a fusion summon. And there is that Artmage quick play spell. Let's see if I can pull that up real quick. That is Artmage Masterwork Succession. It is an effect to perform a fusion summon. Mululu resolves. Okay, so we go ahead and make Guardian Chimera. It's going to draw 2 and pop the Arthalion. Pan and Mululu are going to fire off here, setting 2 spells, negating and destroying the Chimera. That's actually decent technology for this. I like the Guardian Chimera with the succession spell. I mean, I'm sure that Khalil isn't like onto some kind of breakthrough shit with that, but that's nice. I like that play. All right, we're gonna go ahead and activate Ketu. Grabbing Thymina. And let's see, we've already normal summoned Mululu. The other card in hand is that Was... Okay, so Medius can put it back from deck, or from hand to deck to summon itself, right? When it's in the grave. That's what I think. That's what just happened there. And then Littera, or no, that's Graflair. Graflair tried to summon itself, but because it also draws a card, it includes an effect that would add, so you can just ash its effect to summon itself. So we got Medius and Flame Set. We're going to go ahead and pass it back to Khalil, who was going to normal summon the Lacrima. We do not have a response. Engraver hits the graveyard. Lacrima is going to be linked off for that Requiem. Hitting the field is the man himself, Fiendsmith Engraver. Requiem's going to equip to that Engraver. And... just go ahead and contact Fuse and do a Necro Equip. 2 monsters were sent to grave, so Arthalion is able to summon itself. Once again, we have the Engraver pitch to grab Tract and the Necro Equip to draw a card play. That is just insane. Such a powerful interaction. Alright, so we're returning the Requiem from the grave back into the extra deck to go ahead and special summon Engraver. We do now have access to a Link 2 play or a Rank 6 play. Caesar, though, unfortunately unable to swing over the Arthalion. So we are going for the Link 2 option. Hitting the field is Sequence. Sequence is, of course, going to attempt to perform a fusion summon. Looks like we're going for 2 Engravers and Lacrima into the Desiree. We're going to go ahead and link 3 into probably Agnumde, and then Desiree can go ahead and shuffle something back to out the Arthalion. Yeah, shuffling back that 3rd Engraver. Oh, we're going to send the Flame. Okay, this makes sense, too, because that can negate one of our equips. Likely the Agnumde that's going to boost the Desiree by so much. Now, what is the defense on Medius Appear? It is 1800, so Agnumde can't swing over Medius. We're going to go for Tract. Interesting. Grabbing a Lurie. Lurie hits the board. Medius Appear is going to shuffle back the Lurie to summon itself, but it looks like we're scooping. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about that. It was a pretty quick game. I think Devin just didn't really draw the cards he needed there, and Khalil just had all the answers. Another one of those games. A little unfortunate that we've gotten a couple of those on the feature, but that is what it is. Nothing we can really do about it. That's just Yu-Gi-Oh! Sometimes. Definitely cool to see the Artmage cards in action. I do think it's a really cool concept. I'm not a huge fan of it in terms of like power level. Like I don't think it's that good, but its game plan's pretty decent, I suppose. Good resource engine. I like the fusing on the opponent's turn thing. Of course, as a Dracotail enjoyer, I think that's quite cool. But apologies to Devin for making the world witness the can of whoop-ass that Khalil unleashed upon you. Regardless, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. We do have... my apologies. We do have one more to watch here. That was top 4. We are going to be going into the finals here very shortly. I appreciate you guys. I will see you on the next one. Peace.